Hey guys, today is Saturday, January the 6th of 2023. January 6th. Oh, yeah. That is the date of the insurrection. Wow. Anyway, I digressed. Uh Happy New Year's. Hopefully you had a great New Year's with your family and friends and all that good stuff, but it's time to get back into natural gas and check out the cycles, where we're at, where we're going, what are the probabilities of going higher, sideways to lower. I got you. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So this is the Spectrum Cycle Analyzer, and we are looking at a weekly chart, weekly closes, and we're using data from like 2000 all the way to current prices. And there are three important cycles here. Two are for the bulls, and one is for the bears. We'll start off with the bears because I know there's bears and there's bulls. So if you are a bear, meaning that you think, natural gas is going lower, sideways to lower, then I got your back. If you are a bear, the 228 cycle is down and it hits a trough somewhere around May 7th. Pretty much the first week of 2024 of May. And then this cycle goes up. So that's your timeline around there. And then this cycle becomes bullish. It's going to be in the bullish camp. It's going to join the other ones that I'm going to go over also. So if you're a bear and you think it's going to go sideways to lower, then this is your time frame. Once May 7th kicks in, then you have to be very cautious. The next cycle now for the bulls. The bulls have two cycles that are positive. One is the 142. This cycle hit up, cycle low around July 11th. And these are dynamic cycles, so they kind of shift a little bit. But as of now, as of today's date, this cycle peaks around October 8th of 2024. So this cycle is bullish. The next one is the 124. This one hit a trough cycle around July 17th, and this cycle is up as of now, August 20th. So August 20th of 2024 hits a cycle high, which that was 124, and then this is the 142, which is October of 2024, October 8th, or that first week. So you have two that are up and one that is down. So just remember that. On the weekly chart, we're going on the big time frame, and then we're going to work down to the daily. So if you know those two things, you're already ahead of the herd. Let's go to the daily chart and see what's the data showing us there. Okay, so this is our daily chart, and we're using data from 2017 to current prices. So these are daily closes, and this is a daily chart, spectrum analysis. And there are two important cycle, and then one that I call dominant cycle, and it's more like fractal, more like, swings. And I'm going to use all three, and I'm just going to show you what the data is showing. So unfortunately, the cycle for the daily chart, they are down. So the first one I'm going to show you is the 255. In this cycle, you can see that it peaked somewhere around September 1st. And however, we did a peak around November and then shot down this cycle. So just looking at this, it looks like it overextended itself and then pulled back. But it peaked somewhere around August. And now this cycle, it's a low around February the 12th, as of now of 2024. Remember February, because on the seasonality, I'm going to show you some things on February and March. If you've been watching my videos, you probably already know this, but just in case you don't know, February and March are key months for this year starting out. So we hit a low on February 12th, around there, roughly, on this cycle, which is 255. The next one I'm going to show you is the 337 cycle. Now, this one is a little more deeper. This one kind of coincides with the high that we did in November. I mean, it was very close. If you look at the cycle, it peaks like right here on November 22nd, and we kind of peaked around there using the closes around November 1st. And it pulled back. But when does this cycle end and starts going up? It's going to be in May of 2024, around May 23rd, but that could fluctuate and change, as we progress and price action is moving. That might fluctuate. But as of right now, that's the cycle low, and then the daily cycle is going to go up. So if you are bullish on the weekly, you got two cycles that are up. And in theory, you would like to wait for the daily to go up so that you're in sync with the weekly. So now you got the wind behind your back pushing you forward or pushing you higher, using probability that these cycles are going to play out. If you're bearish, then, you're bearish. And you have to, you have the weekly, bearish cycle that is down. And this is your season now. So those are your two options there. And then there's one here that's 77. This is what I call the dominant cycle. It's more like fractal, as you can see the swings. I use the dominant cycle only when the number is above 30. Anything lower than 30, it's kind of challenging because it's just so many swings, so many ups and downs. So looking at this dominant cycle of 77, now it's in an upswing. And it looks like it hits a peak around February 2nd, and then it goes down on March the 12th. So what I like to do is create a composite with the dominant cycle and then use the higher time frame. So we know we have one, which is the 255. This one is going to bottom out in February. And I take the dominant cycle, which is 77, and create a composite, and this is what you get. Hit a peak around here, and then right here, we're hitting a little low. And now, if this is going to play out, then it's probably going to hit a peak around February 1st. So we could probably retest this high, and then maybe turn down into March, and then go higher. And why is March? Is, February, March, using those two cycles. So February and March are lows. So using the composite, it's using that 77 that I added. Dominant cycle is pushing it more towards March. And then from there, in theory, it would go up using probabilities. The next one is the 337 that I showed you earlier that is very bearish. To May, you add the 77. And this is what you get. As you can see, it pushes it even, towards the end of May. So as of right now, December 22nd is projecting, on the projection line higher to like January, towards the end of the month. And then down to sideways using that technique. So as long as you know those things, I use I do the composite last, but I like to always just look at the cycle by itself. The 255, which shows February, and the 337, which shows somewhere around May. Okay, so this is a seasonality chart that I like to watch also. I use the 5, the 10, the 15, and the 20. So this is the 5-year. You can see that March is weak. February's kind of flat. You get a little strength on January, but it looks like it gets a pop in January, and then it kind of gets weak till March. And then April, for some reason, gets this nice little pop. And that is 5 years. Do the 10-year, you can see that February is the weakest. January, February, March, and then April, for some reason, gets this nice strong move higher. Using the 15-year, you can see that February's the weakest with, January and March, but it's pretty much February and March that are showing the weakest. And then April, remember April, a strong month. And lastly, 20 years, it shows that February's the weakest. And March gets a little nice bump above the 50%, but April always stronger within 20, 15, 10, and 5-year time frame. Okay, so this is another seasonality chart I like to use, but these are kind of a little more of average dates. So as you can see, we got this nice little pop on natural gas. Let's go ahead and add, and we're using January, February, March, and April. Let's go add 5-year. And somewhere around January the 11th, kind of gets toppy using 5-year average. And then you can see that from January, it pulls back, just pretty much sideways to lower. February, a little low here, you know. But after April 3rd, things start moving and grinding higher. So remember, February, March are kind of weaker. So this is where you maybe want to accumulate, believing that, you know, it's going to go higher. You know, the weekly is going higher on the 2 cycles, and one is for the bears. So you have to decide, what are you, a bull or a bear? But remember, February and March are very, very weak. Using the 10-year, which is the green line, you can see that it kind of gets kind of toppy around January 12th, and then it kind of pulls back. So, you know, it doesn't go down in a straight line. There's just sideways swings, and then it pulls back a little lower. February 12th, get this peak, pulls back. February 27th, and it kind of goes sideways March to lower. And just remember April the 3rd, then things just start looking higher. We add the 15-year average, and you can see it kind of fluctuates between all 3. But now you can kind of get a trend. You can see that, yeah, after January 11th and maybe the 15, things just start going down. Anywhere between the 29th of January, then it pushes even lower. And somewhere around February 12th, it kind of finds a bottom. And then it kind of pushes lower. February 26th, you know, maybe a retest of the low, you know, just kind of looking at it by glancing it. And just kind of sideways pops and, you know, drops. And April 3rd, things start looking more positive. Okay, I also like to look at commitments of trader report. I like to focus on commercial, and I like to focus on non-commercials, which is large speculators. So you can see that there was an important pivot right here around November 20th. Large speculators stop selling, and commercial stop hedging. As you can see, prices was going down. And then from November 20th, it's just been going sideways. No conviction, either, you know, up or down. The same as large speculators. They were just going sideways. But something happened on January 1st where large speculators now are going positive. So what I would like to see, maybe take out 86, 755, and then next will be 56.59. I like to see them accumulate and test that level right there. Same with commercial. If prices are going to go higher, then I would like to see them at least test 55, 55.4, and obviously the target would be 33 or 60. If it could push down there and test that and push lower, that means that natural gas could be trending higher. Okay, so this is the last chart I'm going to be showing. You see that this is what I call the market profile. The point of control was like 271-ish. You can see that we have pushed higher. We're at 290. The last 2 months were very bearish. November and December. Looking at the weekly, you can see the point of control, 257 here. And we took out the value area high, and we're right above it, up 288 and 282. Remember these levels right here. What is that, like 3 and change, 301. I believe this is 302. Yep, 302 and 301. Could probably test this level there, and if it could close above that, then it could probably retest the high. But not guaranteed, but it's, you know, probabilities are high. Just remember February, March, a week. So this could probably be a dead cat bounce in January and then push lower. I'm just, thinking outside the box. The good thing is that we're above the VWAP, anchored VWAP. So let's see what we have here. So using the Gann grid, we found support at the 50% angle here. This is a 1x1, 1x2, 1x3. So it's going to push higher. It has potential to kiss that angle, or maybe that's where it's heading. But there's other things that also showing that it could be possible resistance where we at right here. So we'll take it for, baby steps. Trend line. You see this is an anchored right here. We blew right through it. The other one will be this one. That's going to be that 302. If it could get up there. And let's see. Square ratio. There's a 292. We're almost close to that. We found resistance at the square ratio of 262 and then blew right through it. So there's 292 and then the next will be the 362. So these are square ratios that I use, and that's another level you want to keep keep an eye on. Excuse me, my throat is jacked up. Let's go out of here and let's go into our simple glance chart. As you can see, we never took out that 244, but we need to take out 303 to continue the momentum higher. Right now, we're in the noise barrier, and the point of control is at 284, and we haven't crossed over on the MACD, so that's positive. On the weekly, we got a PPS buy signal, so that's positive, and this week was pretty much for the bulls. PPS buy signal, MACD crossover signal, so that's bullish. We're closed above the 20 SMA of 285. And the high value area high is like 297, pretty much like $3. That's the value area high. So it looks like it may want to go and test that there. But so far, this is very bullish. I was mixed in between this area, and I'm still am. Just because January and March, February and March are kind of weaker. So, but this is positive. I'll give it to it. This is the area I'm always interested in buying and accumulating when we kissed this linear regression channel, but I didn't like the fact that it was at the zero line, excuse me. But, it is what it is. Let's see if it could, continue pushing higher. I'm on the sidelines. For your information, I'm just watching it for now. Now, looking at the daily, very overextended. If you ask me, should I continue buying? Very risky here because you're at the top of the linear regression channel. Look at this level right here of resistance, 293. You got the value area high of 304. I forgot to show this clip too. Let's see. I don't remember. Squaring the range from the low of 194 to the high of 363. You're at the 50% right here. So key level 291. So watch out. It could stall here, and if it's really strong, it'll push higher, but you're smack in the middle within this range. I wanted to show you that also. And you're at the top. You're above all the moving averages, so that's good, but you're very, very toppy. MACD is positive. Volume was all to the bulls on Friday and Thursday, so that's good. Haven't cracked the cloud yet. So a very interesting area right here. Let's go to a midpoint chart, but before we do that, let's look at the calendar. So Monday, statistics, bearish, Tuesday's bearish. Wednesday is mixed. It's 50-50. It could be bullish and it could be bearish. So I could leave that flat, either or. Thursday's the biggest day. So if you're a bull, Thursday statistically is a very bullish day, very big in volume and price. Or I should just say price. I don't know about volume. It all depends. And then Friday, bearish. So we'll repeat. Monday, bearish. Tuesday, bearish. Wednesday, 50-50. Could be positive or negative, bullish or bearish. Because there's two that are there. But Thursday, very strong to the upside, very bullish. And then Friday, bearish. So let's get that out of the way and look at levels. On the monthly, you're above the 254, so that's good. So it's green. Targets to the upside, bigger targets, 299 and 314, which lines up with the previous month 50%, which is 316. So yeah, so those are the bigger targets if it's going to continue pushing higher. Big target would be 317. That's the yearly midpoint now. And looking at the weekly, you got targets to the upside, which is $3 and $3.09. So those are your big targets to the upside. Support for the daily for Monday, at least it should stay above 279. If it goes above 279, then there could be possible targets to the downside for Monday only. Maybe could test 268, 262, and 257. And for the weekly, for the whole week of next week, you need to stay above 271 if you're going to continue this momentum. So if it pulls back here, this could be a nice, base where it could consolidate and then maybe push higher to retest 290 if at least 290 fails. But if 271 fails, then you'll have targets of 254, 242, and 233 for this week. And lastly, the square of 9. So we're over here 290. You got targets all the way to 298, all the way to 307. Just keep an eye out for 302. We stalled there one time, 301, 302. Other than that, those are your bigger targets using the square of 9. So I'm going to sign out. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to kind of give you a big update for this week's forecast and kind of the bigger pictures, the cycles for the bulls and for the bears, and let's just see which one is going to be panning out. But remember that price is king. Price action is king. Whatever price is doing, that's what it's going to be doing. We're just using probabilities and trying to get an edge and see where this could probably be going, but we just don't know until the day comes and price goes there. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your family and your friends, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on natural gas.